This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Mid-Dell Sports Report right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. My name is Jordan Ray. Great to be with you. I'm joined by Coach Case, who we're going to talk to in a moment. But right now, we want to first thank, once again, our gracious host for giving us the chance to do this. That is Buffalo Wild Wings in Dell City, located at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Dell City. Please come to Buffalo Wild Wings to support your favorite Mid-Dell spring sports team. And that includes track, tennis, soccer, and baseball for all three high schools. We'll talk to a couple of those teams here in a moment, but Buffalo Wild Wings is awesome for doing that. We really appreciate them. And, of course, another reason to come to Buffalo Wild Wings is for the great food, the great times. College basketball has come to a conclusion, but the NBA playoffs are about to heat up, plus Major League Baseball is going on and started up, so lots of games on. The Masters is coming up this weekend and so much more. So make Buffalo Wild Wings your home for watching live sports, especially if you're like to stream those non-local live channel stuff. So lots of reasons to come to Buffalo Wild Wings. And we want to thank also Tootie Buys Houses in Midwest City. They buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call us today for a cash offer. The phone number to call is 405-931-3046. We really appreciate Channing Chamberlain for supporting this show, which aims to focus more and more on Mid-Dell sports right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. For tonight, we are talking Carl Albert spring sports. And for the first time in these last 3 weeks, well, not for the first time, but we will get to be talking to a track athlete for the first time, I should say. But we're going to talk Carl Albert track right now, particularly right now, girls track. We are joined by the girls track coach, Bill Case, and one of his athletes who we'll be introduced to here in a moment. Coach Case, thanks for coming back because, of course, you were on for during the cross-country season.
Yes, sir.
So, obviously, you like coaching runners.
Yes.
As it would appear. But go through again. I know I've asked you this before, but that was a few months ago. Go through again how you became the track coach at Carl Albert High School.
Well, I've been coaching track since I started at Carl Albert in 2008, and I was working at that time. I was assistant boys coach with Coach Rollins, and Coach Brandon Johnson was the girls track coach, and he retired from the girls. Well, actually, he retired from being a head coach. And he's family man, loves his family, and he's got two sons that are very active, and he wanted to spend some time with them. So we talked, and they offered me the girls' head coaching job. So I've been doing that. This will be my fourth year as head coach for the girls.
Awesome. And when it comes to coaching track, how much of it is technique? How much time do you spend focusing on how much volume to put into practice? I mean, what are some of the nuances involved with track?
Well, track is a little different than cross country. Track is, it's quite a bit different. You have so many different individual events. Mm-hmm. Kylie, for example, she's a special breed. She's one of our runners and throwers. So she does field events. She throws the shot and disc, and then she's on the 4x1. So each one of those, you have technical skills. Throwing has, technical skills. Running, depending on what you're running. If you're a sprinter, if you're a distance runner, mid-distance. So then you have jumpers, high jumpers, long jumpers, pole vaulters. So it's quite a bit different than just the cross-country side of it. But
correct. And I'll take your word for it. I don't know any better, but When I would imagine part of the challenge for track is because there's so many events and each athlete has a limit of 4, I believe, per event, as I've learned.
That's correct.
There's a lot of delegating you have to figure out early on, like how to put the puzzle together.
That's exactly right, and that's what we're working on now. We just come back from Arkansas, had a really good trip there, and we took a few kids there, boys and girls, and they did really well, and that's letting us see, you know, and that's part of it. You want to put, you might have some kids that you might think are sprinters, and then some that might be mid-distance, and then some that are distance runners. Well, we had some kids that were finding out that end up thinking they were mid-distance, and they end up turning to be some of the top distance runners we got. So, you know, we got a young lady that's freshman this year that's going after school record in the mile this year. So, but finding all that, and it's getting close because, you know, we only have our meet. We got UConn Friday, and then we have our meet the next Friday, and then conference, and now we're at regionals and states. So we have 3 meets left before we got to get it figured out.
Absolutely. So going to Arkansas, let's talk a little bit about that since that was last weekend, and we have some pictures we're going to show here in a moment.
Okay.
What led to you guys deciding to go to that meet, going out of state?
Well, Coach Cam and I had been talking about wanting to do something special for the kids, you know, and they've been working really hard, and so we discussed where we could go. And I'm an old Arkansas boy, and I, you know, thought, well, hey, Arkansas is good. We talked about going to Texas and Kansas, but I don't know. I guess the Arkansas side of me just wanted to go back home and see some of those guys, and it was a great trip. The kids loved it, and they did really well.
So it was your first year doing it this year, or
this was our first year to go out. And we're wanting to continue to do that.
Okay.
You know, next year, you know, Coach Cam, we've been talking about it, and you know, we're looking at possibly going to Pitt State up in Kansas, and it's the same week that the Arkansas meet is, and so it works out on our schedule. So we're thinking about doing that. And the kids, and we can't say it enough, but when they know that we've got something like that lined out, they're all working, because this year we only took, you know, the kids that were running the relays. So everybody's busting their tail, working hard, trying to, you know, take care of business, and so that's part of I love about it is the competitiveness that they're all pushing each other.
And how many days was it? Was it 1 day or 2?
It's just 1 day, yeah.
Okay, so it's not like a hotel stay.
No, sir. No.
Okay.
It was close enough to where we can leave, you know, 3 hours, get there, turn around. Now it was a late night getting back, but it was good.
Yeah, I've been to Fayetteville. I know it's about hour and a half from Tulsa, just like Oklahoma City is. So I don't suppose you ran to John Calipari.
No. But I am a Razorback fan.
That's the news, so I guess you're happy with that. That's news about Arkansas and college basketball, so that'll be interesting to watch as OU joins that conference. So,
yes.
Okay, so was it Friday or Saturday?
The meet was Friday.
All right, so we get to miss a day of school. You but you have all Saturday off, and then you know you got to, I imagine, leave pretty early. But you know, like you said, it was close enough for you guys. Let's look at some pictures on the girls' side here. Talking to Matt, our producer, what do we got there? That's one of your jumpers.
Yes,
I think.
that is
hard to tell.
Well, and I need my glasses. That is Azzy King. She is our high jumper. Well, she's one of our high jumpers, and right now she's sitting at number 3 in the state in high jump. Yeah, wow. She's jumping 5'2". So I think that was her 5-foot jump right there.
Okay, let's show the next one.
Okay, there's a couple great young ladies. That's Kaylee Davis and Caitlin Allen.
A lot of K's there. And what are their events?
Well, it's Kaylee, she was last year, she ran the 4x1, 4x2, and the 4x4. And she was one of those kids that would do whatever we asked. And Caitlin, same thing this year. She was a 4x4, 4x8. And actually she joined cross country this past fall, and ran with us and really helped her time out quite a bit. So she's one of our 4x8 girls and 4x4 girls.
All right. Any more, Matt? Got there. Okay. Of course, there's a big.
Okay, that's
is that
a
relay team.
Yeah, that's part of a relay team. Yeah.
Okay.
And yes, and our 4x2, we're sitting at. I think we're in the top 4 in the state in the 4x2, and 4x4, we're sitting at like number 3. And our 4x8, we're in the top 5 or 6, I believe. So.
All right. Okay, any more about with girls? Okay, that might be it. We have some other pictures to show you when we talk to Coach Couch.
Okay.
One thing that's interesting about going to Arkansas, our first ever Middale football game on the Oklahoma Sports Network was Midwest City going to Bentonville. And so that was almost 4.5 years ago. And I remember going there and being surprised that Arkansas still has a smash burger, so I couldn't wait to eat there. Yeah. That leads me to my question, did you guys enjoy a good place to eat afterwards?
Oh, we did, yeah. Coach Cam found a place called Sassy's Barbecue. And
wow.
so, it was
sounds like a great name for a barbecue place.
It was very good.
Okay, let's go and talk to one of the athletes you brought with us. Go and introduce us to this lovely young lady.
This is Miss Kylie Reeser. She's one of our seniors this year. We only have 3 seniors. And actually, is it 3 or 4? We
3
have 4
girls.
3. No, we have 4 seniors.
Yes.
4 seniors.
Not many.
Yeah, not many at all. So we're pretty young.
Yeah.
And this is Kylie.
And what are your events, Kylie? Again, I know you kind of mentioned it, but go ahead and tell us again what you run.
I run the 4x1, and I also throw shot and disc.
So 3 events.
Yes.
Okay. And when you do those 3 events, are you ever close to there being a conflict between the field events and the running?
Well, in Arkansas, there was a little bit because they had mixed up the orders of the running events, but usually the 4x1 is the very first race, so it doesn't really interfere with throwing.
Okay. I remember I did coach. I don't know much about track, but I was an assistant track coach one year, and I was impressed with how difficult it can be to run track events. There's a lot to it. So it doesn't surprise me every now and then when there's a little bit of chaos, let's just say. How would you say your season's gone so far, Kylie?
I'd say my season's gone pretty great, actually. I have a few colleges looking at me for throwing, which I love that because I'd love to go to college for throwing. And running is a new thing for me, and I'm glad that I joined it, to be honest.
How did you realize you were good at throwing shot put or discus, or how did that come about?
The weight room. My throwing coach is my weightlifting coach also. So she was trying to recruit me freshman year, but I was iffy on it. So then I finally decided to go out there my sophomore year, and she was mad at me for not throwing my freshman year.
So you were a beast in the weight room.
Yes.
And your throwing coach, who's a coach at Carl Albert, not everyone has throwing coaches, but that's cool that you do. She saw your prowess and thought you'd be good at throwing.
Yes.
And she was right. What did you do both right away, shot put and discus?
Yes. Once you first start as a freshman or at all, you have to do both just to see which one you're better at.
And you were good enough in both?
Yes.
Which one are you better at if you had to pick one?
It varies.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. It depends on the day. I'm better at shot some days. I'm better at disc some days.
Okay.
And I would like to say this. She's probably not telling you, but she's ranked in the top 10 in the state in both. In 5A.
I don't know how many girls or boys are ranked in the top 10 in both, but that sounds elite, let's just say.
Yeah.
And I imagine those are 2 very different things, though.
Yes. 2 very different techniques.
It would, and I'm just guessing, because, again, I don't know a whole lot about track. That's why I'm having this show, so I can learn more about these sports that I didn't grow up doing. But I would imagine shot put maybe more upper body, and discus maybe more of a balance. You need both. You need good lower body movement, I would assume, for both, too. But
you do need both. I would say shot has a lot of legs involved. It's kind of full body. You got to put your legs and arms into it. But I would say shot is more strength, and disc is more technique. Because disc, the more momentum you move around the ring, the farther the disc will go, obviously. Yeah. And with shot, it's the same thing, but it's more like chunking a ball.
Now, do you think about improving whatever your personal best is? You establish that as a freshman, and then as time goes on, you maybe get a little better, and then it keeps creeping up. Or when's the last time you recorded your personal best in either one?
Actually, the meet right before Arkansas. I PR'd.
Where was that?
That was Choctaw.
Choctaw, yes. And I PR'd in discus.
Not far. Very good. When it comes to discus, because I know that's probably a little lighter than shot put, does and maybe it's true with shot put too. Do you think about wind? Is that ever a factor, or does it not even normally not matter?
Winning?
No, the wind.
The wind.
Wind,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, very much so. See, I PR'd. When the wind is coming against you, it's a
Yes.
little harder to throw it outwards than
Sure.
to if the wind was blowing with you.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's go talk about running then. What leg do you run the 4x100?
The third leg.
Third leg. Is that something you were doing before high school? Or is that
no.
you got discovered in there too then?
Yes.
Okay, so did it work out where you were throwing first and they were like, hey, we need to see if you can run? And then it turns out you could?
Yes. So, fun fact, my friend Kaylee Davis, I played softball before, and
Okay.
so she saw how fast I was, and she told Coach Case that I was super fast, so he made me try out for the running, and I had made the team, so now I'm on the 4x1.
Okay. Well, Coach, you have to appreciate her versatility.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she's special.
So, and I was about to ask you that. If you were discovered in the weight room, you obviously were playing another sport.
Yes.
And you say it's softball?
Softball, yes.
Okay. What position did you play with softball?
I'd say I'm more of a utility. I
Okay.
can play anywhere.
Okay, we had some of your teammates on, like Asha Moore and a couple others
Yeah.
who were infielders back in the fall season. So, well, that's good. And it turns out that, softball, I'm assuming, was your first love.
Yes.
But now track might be the way you get to, go to college somewhere. So,
Hopefully.
yes. Any places you're zeroing in on or still waiting for that?
I'm still looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to go up yet against, and she may have been in 6A last year, but Deanna Douglas from Midwest City?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I just see people throw, and I'm like, I got to beat that.
Yeah. I think she won state in that, so that will be an interesting duel if you guys are ever in the same meet. I don't know. I don't even remember. I need to ask them when they come on next week if they've also moved to 5A like a lot of their programs
They have.
did.
They've moved to
Okay.
5A. In fact, they're going to be at our meet.
Which we're going to talk about here soon.
Next Friday.
Very good. So you said this week, Coach, you're going to UConn?
We're going to UConn, yes, sir.
Okay. And then the following week,
Is our meet. Carl
meet.
Albert Invitational.
and you do this around that time every year?
Well, actually, we normally had scheduled the Carl Albert Titan Invitational the week that we went to Fayetteville. So since we actually worked our home meet around the Fayetteville meet, so it's looking like it's going to probably stay about this time again next year as well, because if we go to Pitt State, it's at the same time that the Fayetteville meet was. So.
Yeah, and we don't have this on yet, but we should put it on the screen. But we're talking the Carl Albert meet will be Friday, April 26th.
25th.
Oh, that's 25th. Okay.
I think it's 20. No, the 19th.
Oh, that's next. All right, next week.
We have
after
conference.
the
The conferences, we're hosting
19th.
conference as well. So the very next week we'll have
Okay.
the Suburban Conference.
and that will be on a Thursday.
That's yes, sir.
Which the next day there's no school, I believe,
Correct.
for Middale. So that'll work well. What's the difference between hosting one or the other? I assume obviously the conference meet you'll get more teams.
No, conferences. We only have 7, 8 teams at conference.
Okay,
And-
so you
and
might have more teams. Than
Yeah,
next,
to where
yeah.
our meet we have at this point we have 20 coming.
And when you host a meet, it could be different classes.
Well, right now we're sitting at about 10 5A and about 10 6A.
Okay. So the meet you're hosting, and we want to put this on the Oklahoma Sports Network. That's the plan. We'll talk more about advertising rates, but you can go on Facebook for that. That has been posted. So, but when we talk about the meet you're going to host in a week from this Friday, so 9 days from now, will that be like a morning, maybe the evening, because you got so many participants?
We try to run an efficient meet, so we're
Okay.
planning on having, we'll start in the morning, and we're hoping to be out of there by 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. If the timing company and everybody runs, if it's running correctly, because the timing company can slow a meet down if it's not, if they have technical trouble.
I imagine that is a lot to take on, though. Again, I talked about this a few minutes ago, but running a track meet, I assume it's up to the head coaches of that host place to do that. And yeah, you have to be really organized.
Well, we have a great staff. We have people that's been doing this forever, and I mean, it's a pretty well-oiled machine. I mean, we run a pretty good meet, and like I say, the staff, all the coaches, they know what to do, and it's got a lot of experience. So that's why we're able to run a good meet like we do.
And that'll be true for both on the 19th and 25th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then after that, you'll have a state meet the following weekend?
No, we have conference, and then that following Saturday will be regionals.
Okay.
And we don't know where we're going for regionals yet. So we'll see. Last year we went to Broken Arrow, so we went east. So we're still kind of waiting to see where we go this year.
And that will determine who qualifies for the final meet.
Yes. The way regionals is set up is you have to be a top 3 finisher in your event. They're automatic qualifiers. And then after the top 3, then they take the next 4 qualifiers regardless of what regional, just depending on time, distance, or whatever. So, you could possibly have 6 people, if you have a fast regional, you could have 6 people from one regional make it. So,
yeah. And then there'll be individuals awarded state champions, and
yes.
then there'll be
the
team
following
recognition.
week, yes, sir.
Okay.
The following week will be the state.
Okay. And we are doing Carl Albert again on Wednesday, May 1st, so we'd love to have you guys back on to talk about that. Real quick, Kyle, let's give some more love to your relay team. What makes them special? Talk about your partners there. And I know you have to do a lot of practice with that baton. That's
Yes.
if you're not careful, that will get you.
We practice our handoffs every day after practice. We have to get those perfect, or it's not okay for Coach Case.
That's what practice is for.
No, literally. What he always says is practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
And you guys been perfect so far, I assume? We're
doing a lot better.
What's your best? What's the best you've done so far? Not as far as time, but like the best you've finished up to this point.
Coach Case, you trying to help me a little bit?
What is the best time?
Or the best place?
The best place.
Well, it depends. I think we placed third. We placed third at Arkansas. What do we place at Arkansas? I think we placed third or fourth at Arkansas.
Okay.
And Kyle, who are the lovely ladies you run with?
I run with Kaylee Davis,
Okay.
Latrice
Okay.
Logan
Logan, and Micaiah Robertson.
Okay. Is that the order you go in along with you at being third?
No. Our first leg is Latrice Logan, and then our second leg is Micaiah Robertson. And then our last leg is actually Micaiah. What's her last name?
Micaiah Robinson is our last leg, and Micaiah Frost is second
That's right.
leg.
2 Micaiahs.
Okay. So
Kaylee Davis was on that, but just here, we talked about putting the puzzles together.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so Micaiah Frost is now running second leg for us.
Sure. Well, it's fascinating to me, and we want to mention all the ladies that participate with that because they obviously they have to be really good to do what they're doing. So, all right, Kyle, any thoughts about your meets coming up? I know when you're on the host team for a couple weeks, that's got to be a big deal.
I'm excited. I'm ready to whoop some booty.
Yeah. I hope you do. And I don't know if I'm sure home field advantage isn't really a thing, but if you feel like it's a thing, just because you practice there,
Right.
I'm sure there could be some advantages to that. So, well, thank you very much, guys, for coming on. And let's go and show the Carl Albert Track card for the fundraiser going on right now up until May 17th. So a month and a week you have to support Carl Albert Track by coming to this Buffalo Wild Wings location. You can take a snapshot of that some way by using technology, however that works. But if you need us to send you a picture of this, we can. You show it to this Buffalo Wild Wings location whenever you purchase something. 10% of your proceeds will go to Carl Albert Track. And please contact us if you're interested in sponsoring the Carl Albert Track meets taking place on April 19th and April 25th. And we will tell you what the rates are. We would love to promote whatever you have going on in your business, whatever, during those 2 meets. All right. Thanks again, Coach and Kylie. And coming up, we'll talk to Carl Albert Boys head coach and one of his athletes for Carl Albert Boys Track, and then Carl Albert Baseball after that. You're watching the Middale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tape.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
One,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
All right, welcome back to the Middle Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Once again, we want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings and Toonie Buys Houses for making this possible. And now we're going to talk Carl Albert Boys Track with their head coach, Cameron Couch. And I got to say this, Coach, no one deserves the title, Coach, more than you, because I don't know how many high school coaches coach 3 sports.
It's just something I love to do.
Yeah, for sure. How did you get to Carl Albert? Did you graduate from
No,
school?
I'm originally from Wichita Falls, Texas.
Okay.
So I graduated in 98, came up to Rose State, actually got in Middale in 2001, and I was at did ISR and Kerr and football at Kerr.
Okay.
So we come to Carl Albert to play, and I'm just floored by the environment, the atmosphere, and Coach Rose gave me a chance in 2008. Coach Price gave me a chance in 2009. And Coach Rollins and I just had a conversation a few years ago, and here we are.
Very good. So did you play all those sports, football, basketball, track in high school?
Football, basketball, track guy in high school. So.
Okay. So what's it like going from one to the other? And you're the head coach in track.
Yes.
But you can't be with your track athletes in the off season when you're involved in the other sports.
That's my staff, man.
Yeah.
I got an amazing staff. Coach Johnson, Coach Cox, Coach Wilkerson, Coach Starr, Coach Looney, Coach McMahon, Coach Sterling.
Yeah.
It's my staff. I have nothing. Coach Johnson, Coach Brandon Johnson, I have nothing to worry about at all. So they allow me to do basketball, and I allow them to do track, and it's a win-win for both sports.
For sure. And what do you teach at Carl Albert?
I teach business. I teach computer applications, business law, and street law.
That sounds like a lot going on then if you're teaching that and you got, a sport every season. But
it's all good.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, you definitely keep busy. But, hey, it's great. It's great to have you on here talking about Carl Albert track. So I'll ask you the same questions I was asking Coach Case as far as the nuances with coaching track. But specifically, you're putting it, like I told him, a puzzle together in a way, figuring out which athletes need to go in which events. Is that one of the key components of your job?
We just did that today as a staff.
Yeah.
I canceled practice, and I wanted to meet with our staff, and we wanted to sit down and figure out this jigsaw puzzle piece, and I think we got it on board, and we'll present it to our kids on Monday, and we'll go back to work. We got UConn this Friday. We'll go out and compete. That's the culture of Carl Albert. We win or lose, you're going to go out there and compete. We get beat, we got to get better.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you're going to go out there and you're going to compete.
Did you enjoy, going out of state to Fayetteville?
Fayetteville, we talked about, I talked to the guys their freshman year. Sorry, their sophomore year. Their freshman year, they were new to track. So we got our feet wet. That was my first time as a head coach. The sophomore year, we finished in the top 10. I told the guys, if you have a 3.7 or higher, and we finish in the top 10, we'll hit the road. And they executed those goals, and we hit the road, had a great time. Shout out to Village Travel, TJ Wolf, our driver.
Oh, yeah. That's quite a task to make that drive.
He took care of us. Our kids were great. Fayetteville knew Carlisle came to town.
All right. So you chartered a bus.
We chartered a bus.
Great. That's great. I'm glad you could do that because make 3-hour plus trip there. Yeah. Well, and Coach Case mentioned he's from Arkansas.
He is.
So maybe you can organize something in Wichita Falls one of these years.
I was trying to get there. I was trying to get to Texas, but hey.
Yeah, I bet there's some really good competition there for sure.
It is.
So let's go ahead and look at some pictures of boys track from the Fayetteville meet. So I don't know if you can see the picture real well, but is that a relay team?
Yeah, this is our 4x4 team. This is consists of Noah Darnell, Casey Baker, Byron Stubbs, and my guy to the right, Tristan Haynes. These kids, heck of a student athletes, great kids, great competitors, fierce competitors. This is the last race of the night. We got out of the blocks a little bit slow, but Byron, being the competitor that he is, I think he came across the line fourth. He passed the baton to Casey. Casey understands how to run that race. He closes the gap and puts us in third. Casey passes the baton to Noah. Noah just has a remarkable race. He gets out and he closes the gap. He passes one, so now we're in second. So now Noah understands how to float on the backside, so he floated. He got to the top and he kicked. And our kids know, this group of kids know that if you give this man a chance, I take our chances any given day. And that's what happened. Noah gave Tristan a chance, and here we go. And we finished with a 3:22. The next team came across at a 3:28.
All right. Any more? Let's see if we have more pictures.
This is our 4x2 team consisting of Byron again, Byron Stubbs, DeAndre Dukes, Trinae Washington, of course, Tristan Haynes.
Some football names.
Yes, sir. This was a fun event. Who got out first?
DeAndre.
It was Dukes. Dukes got out first, and then he passed the baton to Byron, and then Byron passes the baton to Trinae, and then it came down to us and the host team, Fayetteville. We got the baton at the same time, and there was a gentleman from Fayetteville in the upper right-hand corner of the stands. He expressed to his athlete to show him what Fayetteville is about.
Yeah.
And I just politely turned around and said, "Hey, we got an even stick. I trust my guy. Watch this."
And there you go.
T closed it.
All right. Sounds like a great meet for Tristan.
Actually, we were the school record is a 128.07. And those guys were in the 128.09. So we almost popped one.
All right. Do we have any more boys' pictures? Okay, that's just those two. All right, that's fine. All right, Coach. Well, let's talk about who we have with us here. Tristan Haynes. We know him from football. He's a household name in football, but obviously he's exceptional at track. So, Tristan, thanks for coming. So we know you're on the 4x100, 4x200 relay. Any other events you normally run?
Yes, I run the 4x4 and the 400.
Okay, so 3 relays.
And then an individual 400.
An individual 400. So what makes you run the 400 then? Because, you think the sprinting, the one that showed you would say hey, this is the fastest kid in the state would be the 100 event. What led you to the 400? Because I imagine there's a little bit more endurance involved.
I mean, I feel like I could run any event, but I feel like the 400 is just my best race. So.
Okay, and do you run anchor for all 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Talk about, again, how you build a chemistry with your teammates, especially when you're in all 3 relays. And so imagine the team's a little different each time. and if you're the anchor, obviously you have to put a lot of work into making sure it's a clean exchange too. What all goes into that?
All my teammates on track are on my football team. You know, we hang out with each other a lot, and we're like friends outside of football. So the chemistry is just natural. We've been together for all of high school, the whole journey. So we understand each other very well.
Coach, when you see that you got some fast freshmen coming in, do you recruit them to track and football?
Yeah, I don't.
Or you already sit in the running track? Maybe you don't have to.
I don't recruit them. They're voluntold what to do.
Voluntold, okay. There you go. You got no shortage of speed options, that's for sure, as we saw from football. Tristan, so you said that, you know, you get to run with a lot of your teammates then. I imagine that is something about track that, you know, even though these are individuals are going one at a time, there's still a lot of camaraderie with your teammates in track, just like there is in football, right?
Yes, sir, of course.
And who would be compete with you or be the most closest to you in speed on the track?
I don't know. Like, I feel like it's pretty close between everybody on the relays.
Okay.
But the fastest time I think right now is Christian on the 100, isn't it, Coach?
It is. Christian Oku.
Yep,
he has a
great football name, yeah.
He has a fast time. But our kids, when we get down to practice, I used the word earlier, it's all about competition.
Right.
And they thrive off of that. Sometimes we just have to cancel the workout and line them up, and you see about 6 to 8 quarter horses out there on the track. Looking like a little Remington Park action.
Well, you must have a deep bench if you don't have to run him in the 100, I would assume.
Our team is well-rounded. We have a couple of freshmen that help, a couple of sophomores that help. His class, a junior class, is loaded. Then we got seniors, Casey Baker, Easton Collier. These are all the throwers. Easton Collier, Emerson Williams, A.J. Mason, Brock Johnson, Trayton Holland. Who else am I missing? Is that
we wanted to get to those, your throwers. And,
yes.
Well, Easton Collier, so he can do baseball and track. No, I'm sorry, I get him confused with the two other Eastons.
Yeah,
My mistake.
that's wrong, Easton. It's all good.
Okay, Easton Collier, because I just assumed he was going to do golf because he talks about golf, but glad you got him for track.
He can do golf after he shot puts and throws a disc.
Yeah, there you go. So, did you mention any of your distance runners?
Distance runners, Casey Baker, the open eight guy. Toby Phillips is a freshman. He's a miler, 2-miler. Robinson, Joseph, he's a miler, 2-miler. We got baby Collier, Anderson. He's coming up. He's a freshman. He's a miler, 2-miler, 800 guy. So.
And you mentioned Easton Collier throwing. And he does both shot put and discus.
Yes.
And any other strong throwers or any good jumpers?
Coach Looney and Coach Wilkerson do a phenomenal job with our throwers, and Coach Cox as well. Our guys are taught by those three. The coaching staff understands we all have a job to do. At the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. So our kids go out there and compete, and we're at a really good spot right now, and I'm happy.
So, Tristan, when you go to Arkansas, you know, and you're going on someone else's home turf like that, did you get a little more adrenaline in these events, or was it the same as usual? Because, you know, you're making that long trip. You don't want to come away empty-handed.
I mean, of course not, but I feel like anywhere we go, we're going to compete the same way. It's not going to change just because we went to Arkansas. I felt like we came with the same attitude we came with every time we run to go out and try to win. So.
Well, I'm glad being, you know, cooped up in a bus, although it's even if it's a charter bus for 3 hours doesn't, you know, keep you too stiff. It's not something you can't get fixed right away. Were you, Tristan, were you running track before you were doing football, or what came first?
I've been playing football since, like, elementary school. I started running track in 6th grade, I think.
Okay.
And we were running with the 7th graders whenever I was in 6th grade. So we were getting beat pretty bad. So I think that really built up our team. Because I think Trinae was running with me, too, in 6th grade. So we went through that together.
And, of course, people know you from football. And we'll talk more about football in the months ahead. Do you have any hope of doing track in college, or is it going to be football after high school?
I think it's going to be football after high school.
Okay. And did you ever dabble in field events? Like, I know a lot of sprinters can also jump. Did you ever try that out and just want to stick to running, or was that you just want to focus on running?
I'll answer that for him. He's a heck of a long jumper, too.
Yeah. Well, that's where the limits of only 4 events comes
only 4.
in.
Trust me, if I could put him in 5, I'll put him in 5. I actually got with Tristan his 7th or 8th grade year at the middle school with long jump. Worked with him and noticed he was jumping off. He was really talented, but he was jumping off his wrong foot.
Okay.
And then we got him switched up, and I think he popped a 19-foot jump in middle school.
Pretty good.
He can get out there too.
Very good. Tristan, I imagine the other thing about being an anchor on the relay teams is if you hit that baton and you're behind, then you got that target. And Coach Couch kind of talked about this a few minutes ago. That has to be very thrilling when you can catch someone from behind. Do you have a particular moment like that? I mean, you talked about it at Arkansas. Do you have a couple others maybe where you caught someone from behind and that was really exciting?
I feel like the first meet was a pretty good one. And whenever we raced against Norman, they were beating us. I caught him. Then,
Norman, 6A, good.
Yeah, then in most of the 4x4s, I've caught somebody. So,
where was that at?
The 4x1 or the 4x4?
The first event when you were battling.
It was at PC West.
PC West. Okay. Do you feel any different? I asked Kylie from the girls' side when she throws if it's windy or do you feel any different running when it's windy, or do you even notice that once you get going?
I mean, you don't really notice it whenever you're like running, but it would definitely like affect you if you're running straight into it. Like you would feel it, but you're not really worried about it while you're running.
Sure, because everyone else has to go against it too. So, Coach, you got UConn coming up this week. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. UConn's coming up this week. Looking forward to that meet. They always do a really good job of how efficient and how smooth and the competition there. And then our meet is coming up on the 19th. So, we got 20 teams there.
And you guys mentioned this on your Facebook page. We want to stream those on the Oklahoma Sports Network. The 2 meets at Carl Albert.
Absolutely.
And so we hope to do that. We did that last year for one of them.
Yes, that was the Suburban Conference Championships.
Okay. What's does it feel like you have a little bit of weight organizing 2 of them back to back, or does all the organization take place? You already know how you want to do it, and it's just a matter of waiting until you get to that day?
Our staff does a really good job. We sit down and we collaborate and we paint a picture of what these meets will look like, and we're just trying to give local businesses a chance to give back to our program and get along, sponsor their companies, and get their name out there as well. So that's our mission, our vision behind these 2 meets.
Well, as someone who thinks a lot about broadcasting on the side, obviously, for me, I would love to participate in at least one of those. I may have to be out of town for one of them, but just to let you guys know again, we want to stream Carl Albert's track events on April 19th and April 25th, and there are advertising options. Please contact us if you want to know more about how to do that. It's put on social media, but we'll just let us know. We'll make sure you become more aware of that. And Tristan, last for you, what do you have any particular goals? Just keep winning every event. I mean, what's important to you about some of these track events coming up?
I mean, just to get better every meet leading up into our state meets, because we got a couple people that we need to beat from last year. So.
We're definitely in this stretch run, literally, for track. So we want to thank both of you guys for coming on. We hope to talk more about what's going well for Carl Albert Track when we do our next Carl Albert Spring Sports Show, which will be 3 weeks from today. So, but Coach Couch, thanks again.
Thank you guys for having us.
Tristan, always great to have you on. I think it's the 3rd time, so feel free to. You can be a permanent guest if you want. I just want to let you know that. So
book your seat, baby.
That's exactly. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk Carl Albert baseball. First, one more thing, though. Forgot. I want to show you again the fundraising card for Carl Albert Track, and this will last until May 17th. You can come here, and this goes for girls and boys, so it's all under the same umbrella. And you can come to this Buffalo Wild Wings location any day of the week, any time of day, as long as they're open, of course. And whatever you order, 10% of those proceeds will go towards Carl Albert Track. A very worthy cause there, so please find the time sometime during the week to come to Buffalo Wild Wings and support Carl Albert Track. Guys, thanks again.
Thank you guys for having us.
All right, we appreciate you very much. And coming up after the break, Carl Albert Baseball right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
And welcome back to the Middale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And we're about to talk Carl Albert Baseball. One more time to thank Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City for hosting this event and also for hosting fundraisers for all the Middale spring sports teams. And Toonie Buys Houses, also, we buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call us today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. And we get to talk to the defending 5A champs, the Carl Albert Titans in baseball, led by their head coach, Ryan Whiteley. Coach, if you would talk for a second about how you got to Carl Albert, because I know you're like me, you're from Lawton originally.
Yeah, originally from Lawton, born and raised there. Started teaching and coaching there in Lawton. Had some junior highs there, and ended up going out to Cache High School, which is just right there out to the west of Lawton, and spent 5 years there as the head baseball coach. And just so happens, Coach Corley is a good family friend of my father-in-law, Coach Madden, and we're just kind of, I don't know, it was really weird that it just kind of just popped up really out of nowhere that, I was just kind of scrolling through an email and I saw, hey, Carl Albert's got an assistant baseball opening, and Coach Madden called Coach Corley and was like, yeah, we do, and got a couple of science spots, and then one thing led to another, and then pretty much was a whole move of a family up here, really, with Coach Herbert, my brother-in-law, and Coach Madden and myself.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so you're assistant coach for how many years at Carl Albert?
Let's see, this is year number 7, so it'll be 4. I'd have been an assistant for 4, yep.
Well, you had to do something right to be the assistant that was promoted to the head coach, so I think that says a lot about your acumen.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to do the best I could with it.
Yeah, so far. Well, you can't complain about the results right now.
No.
Let's go ahead and look at the standings. Carl Albert is in 5A District 1 for baseball. Just try to hit the 4 if you can there, Matt. We didn't get that quite ready to go. Now it's about to come up. This is as of last night, so Carl Albert won against previously undefeated El Reno in district play. District record is the important record to look at. And Carl Albert is in sole possession of first place as Noble and Guthrie split. And you see El Reno behind them. And so right now the Titans are in good position to once again host. And you know what, Coach, your first 2 years, even though you got the state, you didn't win district, so that's something you're still hoping to accomplish, I would assume. Is that I kind of visualize it as if you're telling your team, hey, guys, I know we won state last year, that's the big deal, but how about we win district one of these years? Or do you even mention that as a goal?
No, I mean, I think it is, but I think really our main goal is to host a regional.
Yes.
We want to play a regional at home, and if that's first or second in district, we'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that gives us a good opportunity playing at home in a regional to make the state tournament, and then from there you got to win 3 games in a row, and it's written on our board in the indoor right now. It's our three things: host a regional, make it to the state tournament, win 3 in a row.
Which is what you did last year, because you got to finish in the top 2 to host, and you guys are in great shape for doing that now. What's interesting is I know the last 2 weekends you played, and of course throughout the season you play really tough competition on those weekend games, which would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday games, and you've run into some real tough competition the last couple weekends, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
When you play those games and you come up short, but of course that doesn't interfere with the goals you mentioned, what's the mood for you as a coach? I know you don't want to lose those games, but at the same time, you also have some injuries you've been dealing with, so you want to rest certain players. Well, what's the feeling like after, a couple weekends where maybe you don't do as well as you hope?
I mean, obviously you don't want to lose games,
right.
But I felt like that was an important part of our schedule is to challenge ourselves a little bit with those games, and I felt like we needed that, this year, and just being able to go play that type of competition, and I think it exposes some weaknesses that you have, and it's you can live with it if you see your guys improve, and we talk about it all the time. It's a mountain we're climbing, and we're not even close to the top yet. We're still chugging along. So, we just got to get better every day. We talk about it all the time, get better every day, and we don't have the. It's kind of weird because in baseball you don't really have the luxury of a lot of practice time now during the season. I mean, you practice pretty much on Wednesdays, and that's about it. And I told our guys, I think it was last night after we played. I was like, look, we got like 4 practices left till playoffs start. So we got to take advantage of not only playing these games and playing hard, but also learning from the mistakes that we make in the games and trying to correct them as we go.
Let's talk about how your team looks right now. On the field, obviously really good because El Reno was winning those district games against the lower-ranked teams, in similar fashion to the way you guys were, and then you obviously played really well in those games. But also you had, like I mentioned before, some injuries you were telling me about with Tanner Norman. I know he's come back. Cash Ferris pitching-wise. How do you feel about where you guys are at health-wise?
Oh, I think we're getting there. I mean, we're still a little banged up, but that's nothing that we're going to sit back and dwell on.
Right.
We're going to keep moving forward with whatever it is we got. And you kind of just got to take that next man up type mentality. But I mean, I think those guys like Tanner and like I said, Cash is dealing with some soreness, and Mason Novotny's kind of banged up with his shoulder, but those guys are doing everything they can to try to get back into it. So I mean. We're just and Tanner is. I mean, Tanner's back in the rhythm of swinging and everything now. So I mean, we're just got to keep moving forward, and hopefully get better as we go.
Will we see Cash pitching anytime soon, or is he still resting in that regard?
We're going to try to, at some point, try to get him out there and see how he feels, throwing an inning or two and try to start working him back into it, just because. He's a big part of the pitching staff, obviously,
Yep.
and we want to try to get him back in there to where he's able to help us at the end of the deal.
Well, you still have some good pitchers, as we learned from your state title run. Just amazing, went the distance with all three of your starters. So
Yeah.
that was impressive to see. We're going to talk to one of them right now. That's Sammy Gonzalez. And then we also have one of the infielders, Mr. Randall, with us as well. So welcome, gentlemen, to the Mid-Dale Sports Report. Glad to have you on. Sammy, we had your game against Midwest City. You were pretty dominant in that game. What do you like about your performance on the mound there?
I went into that game just knowing I could trust my defense, knowing that if I performed, that they would perform behind me. And I knew, obviously, our sticks were much better than what theirs were. And so I trusted that we could get those runs in, get the runs across to give me some cushion just to keep pitching.
And how do you feel like you've evolved? I mean, I remember calling your games as a sophomore. You normally play third base. How do you feel like your game has evolved over the last couple seasons? What have you gotten better at?
I think just in the field, I've kind of slimmed up a little bit. Not too much, but that definitely helps me move a little bit in the field. I've gotten stronger from some of our preseason workouts. Coach Wilcox gets us very good with those. They're killer. And so that's obviously helped me throw a little bit harder, helped me swing the bat a little bit harder. And just in the box, just being able to, choose my pitches more carefully and really just know the pitches I know I can drive.
Did you pitch against El Reno?
No.
Okay. Who were your starting pitchers against?
Oh, yeah, I did.
you did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Well, there we go. One of them
last night. Short-term memory.
Just last night.
Yeah, last night.
Okay, so was Declan the other starting pitcher?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
see, those are. I mean, if you don't have cash going, those are two great options, obviously.
Oh, yeah, no
we
doubt.
saw that in the state tournament. But Sammy, I could tell watching you play, and I don't know a ton about baseball, but you struck me as someone who's definitely going to be playing college baseball somewhere. Do you see yourself as a position player in college or a pitcher, or maybe both?
I just want to go to college as a position player for sure.
Okay.
But, I don't think my pitching stuff is too good at the college level. I feel like I could hang, but I definitely trust my bat a lot more. And
How do you feel like you're doing at the plate then this year?
I feel like I'm doing great.
Okay.
I know I can do better, but still trying to just keep pushing, just get the bat to the next guy.
And, Coach, you always have him at the top of the order, so I know you have a lot of faith in him as far as his bat goes, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think we've kind of found a spot with him there in the two-hole, for us. And, we've been kind of hitting Murphy at leadoff, and I feel like that's a pretty good 1-2 combo. And, I think he does a pretty good job. He has a really good two-strike approach, doesn't strike out a lot, puts the ball in play. So it's really good to have at the top of the lineup.
Okay, and I got familiar with this next player because in the postseason, whenever Sammy would pitch, who plays third base? Well, last year in the stretch run, it was Mr. Randall. But, Mr., thank you for joining us as well. And I guess this year I've seen you play some second base as well. What do you take pride in being able to play different positions, I take it?
Absolutely. Picking up where Brody left off, it's some big shoes to fill for sure, but I take myself as a utility player, so I can go to first and be okay, second, third, short if I need to, even the outfield. So being a utility player and being able to move around is a big deal for me.
But last year, the team was loaded, obviously, so you weren't playing every day as a position player, but you would courtesy run and then play when Sammy's pitching, so you still really important. But now you're playing pretty much every day, correct?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about your season now? Now you're getting to bat every game. I imagine it's easier to get into rhythm that way.
Absolutely. It's something I definitely worked for all 4 years, grinding in the off season, in the weight room, everything that I've put in to the game definitely is starting to pay off now, and I'm starting to see that.
What's it like having the first name Mr., though? That was always – it's hard not to joke around sometimes with that on the air.
It's definitely cool. It took me a minute to get used to it, but my parents gave it to me as a sign of respect, so I definitely take pride in that.
Do you ever abbreviate your name as MR period?
I do.
Yeah. There you go. Well, Coach, obviously you have confidence in him as a runner. You can't use him anymore if you're playing the field, obviously, every day, but you had confidence with him last year if he was your first courtesy runner coming in.
Oh, yeah. Mr. is he's he's the guy who do anything you ask him to do. He's going to go work his tail off. You know exactly what you're going to get. And like you said, I mean, we're in a position in a spot where we're lucky to have depth. You know, we've got a lot of depth on our team, and we did have a lot of depth last year too. And but he's done a great job since his whole high school career. Just the transformation that he's had, you know, from a young guy up to now. I mean, he's definitely earned what he's getting to do this year for sure.
So when you get on the base pass, and you were doing that last year when you were getting to play third base. Do you feel like you can run on any pitcher catcher?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How's the stolen bases going? Do you know your percentage?
I don't, but I'm pretty sure I have the green light whenever, right? Right, Coach Wiley?
Yeah, man.
Green light
Anytime.
All right, very good. So, Sammy, one of the big moments for you last year is you got called on to pitch Game 2 against Sapulpa.
Yes, sir.
And you got the shutout, complete game. Was that were you expecting that? Or what was that moment like once it was over with?
Once it was over with, I mean, obviously you got to have the confidence in baseball to know that you can go all the way. No matter if you're pitching in the field, if you're hitting, you got to know you have the confidence to just do the best you can. And so going into that game, I was very confident. I wasn't going to let the team down. I wasn't going to let the team lose. So by the end of the game, I wasn't necessarily surprised, but I was definitely happy with what I did.
Very good. Mister, what do you think about what's important to you ahead? You know, when you got your matchups, we're going to talk more about this, but the Bill Tipton Classic, is that what it's called?
Yep.
And then big district games coming up against Guthrie and Noble, of course, to determine playoff seeding. What's important for you and for the team to be successful?
Playing to our level. I feel like when we play good competition, we definitely bring our A game, but I feel like if we could just bring our A game to every game, then it's a win.
All right. We're going to have Mr. trade headsets with another player that's very familiar to the show, so we can't wait to have him back on. Coach, while we're making this headphone exchange here, you do have the Bill Tipton Classic coming up, and that's something so that's your tournament to host.
Yep.
And I believe Midwest City and
Midwest
Shawnee
City
host.
Shawnee, yeah.
Okay, so that is obviously when you got 3 schools in on it, that's a huge event.
Yeah, it is. We got 16 teams in it this year, so we're excited.
And this is a 3-day event?
Yeah, 3-day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
And, I mean, that's a lot to put together. Was this something you inherited? I assume it's been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is number 20. It's the
very good.
20th anniversary or the 20th annual. So, yeah, it's been going on for a while, and it's, in a good cause just to honor Coach Tipton and what he's done for the program there at Carl Albert. And I think it's something good, and, I mean, obviously we're going to try to continue that for as long as possible.
And how many teams total?
16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's round-robin format at first, and then
Yeah, we'll play 3 pool games, and then it'll placement game on Saturday. So, like, your 1 will play the 2, So, I mean, it's not really in a pool format, but it's just kind of like you said, round-robin, first 2 days, and then match up with somebody on Saturday.
And will you be playing at Carl Albert the whole time?
We will, yes.
Okay. So that's a lot of good baseball, guys, so be sure if you have a chance to go and see it, whether it's at Shawnee, but definitely if it's at Carl Albert or Midwest City. Great baseball being played throughout the day, and, of course, we know that you guys do a great job keeping the field going so nice, and so looking forward to that. Let's bring in Hutch Russell. Hutch, you were the everyday shortstop the last 2 years, but sometimes when I look at your lineups, you're moving around some too in the infield. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I got to turn you on. That's on me. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah.
You like getting a chance to play some other positions, or would you rather stay?
Oh yeah. I mean, I play a lot of second base in the summer, and we got a bunch of really good infielders, so it really doesn't matter wherever I play. It really doesn't matter.
And you obviously established yourself early since you were a sophomore as a very good hitter, a power hitter. I remember you had home run against Elgin, I think, in one of those regional games back when you were a sophomore. How would you say your game has evolved the last 2 years?
Just working hard every year, trying to improve my game. I mean, I don't know how to really describe how it's evolved. Just continuing to improve, just trying to get better every year and being good for my teammates.
And you have Hutch batting, what, 4 cleanup hole?
Yep, 4.
You like batting cleanup? I'm sure you have base runners, right, because of the guys batting ahead of you?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And you get excited when you see that, or do you have the same approach either way, whether you have no one on base or some runner in scoring position?
There's definitely a chip on my shoulder for sure when there's runners on base because you want to get those runs for the team, but it's same approach really, just get in there, same approach.
Do you and Sammy ever get competitive with like your batting numbers?
Yeah, I feel like there's 3 of us. Me, Hutch, and Tanner.
Yeah.
When he's healthy, obviously. We just compete. Hutch has the home run right now. Him and Perkins are leading the team in home runs. Batting average, we all stayed around the same. So, but the main thing is really home runs. Him and Tanner go at each other with that. But
yeah, you wouldn't necessarily think that by looking at Hutch. He's not the biggest guy.
Yeah.
But he's got that swing down. And he's got that, he's got the lineage because your brother, is he playing at OU still?
Yes, sir. He's at
Houston
OU.
Russell?
Yes, sir.
And you committed to Seminole State, which is a junior college.
Yes, sir.
Hoping to, after a couple years there, move to a D1 school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What made you decide to go to Seminole State? I know it's a really good baseball program, right?
Yeah, it's just I'm really familiar with it. Like you said, my brother went there. And when making the decision, I just felt like it was the best fit for me. And, yeah, I'm really excited about that to continue to improve my game.
One of the interesting things about you and Tanner, I've always found this curious, is you guys throw right-handed, but you bat left-handed. Was there any thought to becoming a switch hitter, or how did the left-handed hitting come about? Was that just your natural?
Actually, it was weird because ever since I was little, it was just naturally better left-handed. My dad said, I was like, did you really don't lie, did you really switch me to the left side?
Yeah, I wondered that too.
But no, it was just from the start, it was naturally left-handed. It wasn't right-handed, so we just stuck with it and ran with it.
All right, Coach. What can you say about? you've been high on Hutch since I talked to you about your team a couple years ago. How have you seen him develop?
He's consistent. I think that's a really good term for him. To use is just consistent. You know what you're going to get. He's going to work hard. He's going to go out there and be a leader for you. He does a great job, and he's, like you said, we've used him some at second base a little bit this year. Hadn't batted an eye, he's moved over there, made great plays there. He's made great plays at short. He's just a competitor. He's going to go out and compete and get after it wherever he's at,
And Hutch, I know it was a tough ending for you in basketball, but the reason I'm bringing that up is I saw on Twitter the very next day you were with a team playing on baseball, right? And I think you got a couple of hits. What was that like, just immediately switching gears and still being in a good rhythm?
Yeah, I've done it for 3 years or 4 years now, so.
Yep.
It's tough. They've been playing for 2 months before I get there, but I decided that I wanted to continue playing basketball because I loved it. I liked it.
Glad you did.
I was having fun, yes.
Yeah.
But, you have to flip the switch, but it's the work before that really gets you to game ready. It's the work during basketball season that really gets you prepared for the baseball season. So it was no surprise. During basketball season, I was still working. I know I wasn't playing, but you still have to get your work in. You can't just show up and be ready to go. But, yeah.
Okay, I got to say one more thing about Hutch, and if you guys want to shut this down, I understand. But there's no video of this that I know of because it was an audio-only stream for this championship game last year against Bishop Kelly. But there was a moment, Hutch, where you got a little upset at the pitcher for throwing inside. And the reason I bring that up is it's understandable. That happens. That's normal baseball, really. But how quickly, Coach, you got from your third base coaching position to make sure, hey, Hutch, calm down. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I knew exactly what was going on. It's part of the game, Tanner, It's a big shot, and kind of takes his time a little bit, probably more than he should have. And
interesting. We weren't even paying attention to that. But.
Yeah, and I mean, I just kind of one of those deals. In a big time heated game like that, you're probably going to get one thrown at you. So, I just wanted to go over there, make it real quick and noticeable. Like, hey, look, I mean, we knew that was going to happen. Let's regroup, go back to work. I mean, whatever it is. But I mean, it's just kind of one of those plays. I mean, it's baseball. It's just the way it is. So.
Well, it was the top of the 6th inning, I believe, and you guys just went up 7-0. So you guys had everything. Everything was in front of you there as far as that goes. So anything you want to add to that, Hutch?
Yeah, I do want to add something.
Okay, good.
During the game, I didn't see Tanner's celebration after he hit the ball, so I didn't realize how bad it was until after I run back the tape, and I was like, that's the reason they threw at me. So in the box, I was like, why are they throwing at me? Like, what is going on? So I wasn't just going to sit back and take that. So,
well,
and I had a moment, but I really realize now why they did it because I went back and saw Tanner's celebration, and it was a bit much. But
that's some interesting insight. But that's also part of the challenge of batting after Tanner, or batting cleanup. I don't know if has Tanner been able to move up in the batting order yet, or is he still kind of
we're slowly getting him up there.
Okay.
But that's also why you don't celebrate your home runs, though, either.
Yeah.
You don't want your guys to get thrown at.
The problem is in Major League Baseball, players do that more and more. Sometimes they might have an influence on the younger generation.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean,
I just hear more and more about players in trouble.
It's kind of the way the game's changed, in kind of recent years is that you see a little bit more of that, when you watch TV and stuff. But, obviously home runs should be celebrated, but they should be celebrated in a way where you're not, you're not too much showing up the other team and stuff like that. So, I mean, we try to do a good job with it. But, I mean, our guys play with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. So, I mean, it's going to happen every now and then,
Sure. And I can understand from Tanner's perspective, he's inside. That's a state championship game.
No doubt.
But obviously you would rather celebration take place in the dugout.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
But with that in mind, since I mentioned Major League Baseball, do you guys have a favorite team and player?
I do. I have a favorite team, the New York Yankees. That's my favorite team. But actually my favorite player isn't on the Yankees because he is a Carl Albert alum. JT Realmuto.
There you go.
Shout out, JT.
Plays on the Phillies. So you can – you know what? As long as I've been watching Major League Baseball, more so than any other sport, I would have a favorite team in both leagues. So you can be a Phillies fan as you can say they're your favorite National League team.
Okay.
And just hope they don't play the Yankees in the World Series.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. Sammy, what about you?
Mine's the Houston Astros.
Them?
Yeah.
Man. I'll tell you why I'm giving you grief about that in a moment.
Yeah.
Have a favorite player? Is it their Altuve or
on that team? It's definitely either Kyle Tucker or Alex Bregman.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, one of my favorite players, like starting to watch, is Ellie De La Cruz for the Cincinnati Reds.
He's the young leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's leading off, but yeah, he's very young.
But he's very good on the base pass.
Yeah.
Right.
He's fast. Yeah.
Okay, Mister, you're off the air, but do you have a favorite team? Who would that be? Yankees. Favorite player?
Stanton.
Giancarlo Stanton. He's pretty good. Coach, you have one from when you were younger, or
a player?
Player or team?
I mean, I've always kind of rooted for the Cardinals.
Okay.
And growing up, I was always a big fan of watching Jim Edmonds. Center fielder.
I remember him when he first played for the Angels.
Yeah. I was kind of wanted to make my game look like his, which.
Are you lefty?
Okay. Not a left-handed hitter, but just kind of more so the way he played the outfield.
Yeah.
Kind of.
A lot of Gold Gloves.
Followed that, but I mean, like Hutch said, I mean, if you think about modern-day players, I mean, Carl Albert, I mean, you got to say JT.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. He's got his name in the field
sure.
by the press box. Yeah. Well, Sammy, my favorite team's the Rangers, so that's why I'm a little giddy about them, but also not feeling the Astros, as you can understand the rivalry there.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing, Coach. We are going to have the next Carl Albert game we're going to have on the Oklahoma Sports Network is Monday. You're hosting Guthrie, so that game will mean a lot. Any thoughts about – I mean, Guthrie's always a rival in many sports, and they're always right up there. And what's interesting is their football team was better than I think people expected, as you can know because you also assistant football coach. Their basketball team, Hutch, you can attest to this, was probably better than people expected. And then baseball, they beat Noble. They split with Noble, so they're looking good in baseball. What do you think about that matchup?
I think it'll be a good one. I mean, it's going to be the biggest game we've played all year. You know,
exactly.
It's like what we talked about when we were playing El Reno Monday, Tuesday. I mean, like, these are the biggest games we played all year, and that'll be the same thing on Monday when Guthrie shows up. And you know, it's kind of that rivalry type game, and you know you're always going to get their best, so we got to try to make sure we give them our best too.
Any thoughts about your guys are Carlbert. Guthrie, are you familiar with their players? You know, playing summer league ball or anything like that?
Nope. Nothing I know about him.
No, so you're kind of going to that game, you know, kind of with a fresh mindset then against them, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hutch, any thoughts about the Blue Jays?
No, we just need to worry about ourselves right now. We need to stay together and play together, and I feel like all the chips will fall where they need to land. So, yeah.
All right, well, guys, this was great, and we love doing Carlbert baseball when we can because you guys go, you obviously make things happen with hosting regionals and getting to state so many times. So thanks, and a belated congratulations on being the defending state champs. I know that has to sound so awesome to hear.
Oh, yeah, it's nice, but, that's kind of talk about it. I mean, that's kind of in the past, so we're trying to write a new chapter this year.
That's one of the things Carlbert likes to do is repeat. So, all right, well, I want to again thank everyone who came on for Carlbert Track, Carlbert Baseball. We hope to have more Carlbert Spring Sports on in 3 weeks, along with these guys. Of course, they'll probably be prepping for a big regional they're hosting. But in order to do that, they're going to take care of some more business, and we will have the game on this coming Monday when they host Guthrie, and we'll have another Carlbert game on the following, I believe, Tuesday. They host Noble. Those will be some big matchups that will determine who's the 1 seed and 2 seed and who gets to host, and then who has to go on the road as a 3 seed. So we look forward to bringing you those games, and then if they host a regional, we'll have those games for you as well for sure. And we look forward to that. Also, I want to remind you again, you can help also sponsor Carlbert Track's events coming up. And back to baseball for a bit. We will also have one more Midwest City game when they host Elgin, who's one of the teams leading in their district, 5A2, this coming Tuesday. So a lot going on in the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll have baseball for you, and we hope to have a couple of track events. But please let us know if you want to sponsor anything. We would love to have you do that for track. We appreciate all our sponsors for baseball. We got quite a few this year, the most we've ever had. So that's awesome. And let's show you the card for Carlbert Baseball, because this also will go until May 17th. You come to this Buffalo Wild Wings location any day, anytime, show them this card, show them a picture of it, and Carlbert Baseball will receive 10% of the proceeds. If you're not sure about how to get this on your phone, contact us, and we'll make sure you have it. And so that, again, lasts until May 17th, and you can support Carlbert Baseball, the defending 5A state champions, and that would be a great thing to do. So, again, we want to thank everyone. Coming up next week, we'll be back to talking Midwest City Spring Sports, and we'll keep rotating from there for the next couple weeks. You've been watching the Mid-Dell Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.